John Bullard here. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be looking at major triad arpeggios and how to use a pattern to move up and down the neck in these arpeggio positions. This exercise is going to really help you learn the fingerboard of the banjo and to really see how all the keys lay out on the banjo fingerboard. I've put a free PDF download in the description, and this PDF is the entire study that we're going to be looking at today, moving from G major all the way through D major. So it's all 12 major keys and how to move through the triad patterns in a circular circle of fourths kind of way. I recently put out a video on major triad arpeggios that you should check out if you haven't yet seen that before you look at this video. In the previous video we looked at these major arpeggios just ascending and descending. I'll have a link to the previous video in the description. Today we're going to go to a new level with these arpeggios of connecting them with patterns, but we're still going to be using the skeleton of these chord positions and chord shapes. So we'll be connecting the F-shaped G, the D-shaped G, the bar-shaped G, back up to the F-shaped G, and all the way up again to the D-shaped G. And we'll be doing this in all the major keys. There are a couple of roll patterns that are a little bit tricky that I want to show you before we get into the actual arpeggio exercise. The first roll pattern is what I call the 4-string roll pattern. And this is a pattern that covers all 4 strings, not counting the 5th string, but all 4 strings of the banjo going forward and backwards. So here's this roll. 4-string roll forwards. Four-string roll backwards. There's also another sort of non-traditional roll that I'll call the inside roll, where we move to the inside strings, excluding the 1st string, and we do a roll there. So this is what I call the inside roll. Inside roll number 1. Inside roll number 2. These arpeggio patterns are closed position patterns. We'll be moving through all 12 major keys in closed positions so that this arpeggio pattern is movable all over the fingerboard no matter what key you're in. This closed position arpeggio pattern is contained in G major and C major combined together. We have a couple of different ways that we end the arpeggio pattern to lead into the next key, but both of these ways of connecting the different keys are included in just the G major going into the C major. So let me show you the pattern by going over G major and then moving into C major. We're starting on the 4th string, 5th fret with the index finger, and we're going to pluck that note with the index finger of the right hand. Then immediately go up to the next G position, and we're going to pluck the 4th string with the thumb, and then follow 3rd string with the index and 2nd string with the middle. So we get this. Now we're going to use the forward 4-string roll. So we're going across all 4 strings, and that's thumb, index, thumb, middle. So that much together. Now we're going to hit the D on the 7th fret 3rd string with the index and index again, and we're going to slide up to the next G position. And take note that I use these 3 fingers, middle, ring, and pinky, for my bar instead of doing a bar. I find that the bars are very hard to get in and out of when you're moving up and down the neck. So I'm going to slide into the bar position, but I'm actually using a different finger for each note. And then I'm doing a forward roll. So far we have 4-string roll. Now I'm going to do the same thing again, going from the G on the 3rd string up to the B on the 3rd string. And I'm using my middle finger but plucking with the index. And then forward roll. So far. And I'm going to do that move one more time to go up to the next position. And this time I'm shifting from middle finger on the B to index finger on this D at the 19th fret. But I'm still leading with my index. So that whole ascending pattern is. And that takes you all the way up from this G to this B. Then once we get to that position, I'm actually going to reverse and go back down the exact same way but in reverse. And to do this, I'm going to use one of our kind of unconventional rolls, which is leading with the thumb on the 1st string. So that's thumb on the 1st string, index on the 2nd string, and thumb on the 3rd string. So once we get back, we go all the way up to this top D-shaped position, we're going to reverse by going thumb, index, middle. Then that lets us drop down. So we're going backwards. Then we're going to shift just in reverse from index to middle. Then backward roll, middle, index, thumb. Shift back again to this bar. So that much so far would be again, thumb. Now in these 3-note patterns in each position, once we turn around and have used the thumb as a lead, then I'm just going to be going middle, index, thumb, middle, index, thumb. So thumb, index, middle, middle, index, thumb, middle, index, thumb. So descending. When I get to this, back down to this D shape, I'm going to use that 4-string roll in reverse to prepare to hit a quick G7 before I go into the key of C major. So going down is actually going to look like. And that's your 4-string roll. Reverse 4-string roll. Then I'm going to use the other inside roll, middle, thumb, index, thumb. Which I'm fretting this F to give a G7 sound. So coming down all the way. And I'm ending that with a thumb. And that prepares me to start all over again on the C with the index and the index, just like we did on the G. So let me just run through the G real quick, up and down. So as you can see, when you're going up, the first note of each measure or a group of notes is actually in one position, but then the rest of the arpeggio is in the next position. So and it's the opposite going in. So we've ended with this little G7 lick. And we've pluck the last note, that B, with our thumb. So now we're in the position to start the same pattern over again with C major. We're going to do the same pattern that we did with G major. And now, just like we did with G major, we're going to turn around and go in reverse. So we're going to do our leading off with the thumb on the first string. Index, thumb, thumb, index, thumb. When we get down to this bar-shaped C, we're going to end our C pattern and move into C7 quickly and then move on to F. So when we get to this bar shape, and when I descend, I do use the real bar because we're going to need to cover all 4 strings with this backwards 4-string roll. So that's middle, thumb, index, thumb. So going down. Four-string roll backwards. We're going to do another little dominant 7th lick to lead into the next key, which is F. And this is that inside roll that I talked about. And it's middle. We're starting on the 2nd string with this E. So it's middle, thumb, index on the B flat, and then thumb on the G. So refer to your PDF, which has the tab, the notation, and should have the right hand fingering for this as well. So again, going down from C. And that leads us right into F. And we start again with the same pattern. The only 2 patterns you need to know for descending and doing the lead into the next key are the D-shaped pattern, which we did the backward 4-string roll, and then a little 7th lick. There's that one, and then there's the same kind of thing in the bar shape, like in C. And those are the only 2 transition patterns that we have in this whole exercise. We're either going to be transitioning from the D-shaped chord shape to this, or from this to this. And so on. My advice would be to learn securely this G major and C major triad pattern and get secure with playing just going up G major, down G major, the little dominant 7th lick, and then up C major, down C major. And if you learn that and get comfortable with that and learn how to play that very slowly and cleanly, then you'll be all set to go into the other keys because it's the same patterns that repeat. The intention of this arpeggio study is to do that full cycle of fourths all the way through from G leading all the way through D and back to G. So that gives you a way to work through all the major keys in a continuous arpeggio study. I hope you enjoyed this arpeggio study, and I hope that it helps you really learn the banjo fingerboard. In a forthcoming video, we'll move into minor triad arpeggios as well. If you like this kind of content, please hit the subscribe button and the like button. We'll see you next time.